It's fun. It's just fun. It's fun. It's fun. It is fun.
Severance Season 2, Episode 5.
A little sugar with your usual salt.
Ooh, yes. This episode was fine, right?
I liked it better than the last.
Really? Okay.
Well, remember, I didn't like it really last one.
Yeah, that's true, you didn't. I feel like this was kind of not a filler episode, more of a setup episode, you know?
Yeah.
Why'd you like it more than the last episode?
This one, I like it when you go back and forth. So, like this one, you're there inside, then it shows them outside, and they're back in.
Mm-hmm.
Versus last one is all one location. Stuff doesn't really, it's like a little slow, but I'd say this one picks up more like halfway through the episode.
Mm-hmm.
Versus the last one, it literally just like picks up at the very end.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not one of my favorite episodes, but it's like similar to, I think you talked about it, like The Lost. When we go back and watch Lost, not a lot happens, and then something happens at the end, and you're like, I'm so excited for the next episode. I can't wait.
Mm-hmm.
Season 1, it's like not a lot's really happening. It's a little slow, but then they always end it with something. We're like, all right, we're watching another one right now, except I have to wait a week for this.
Yeah, I think it would be a much better viewing experience to go shotgun them all one after another. Like you said, when I watched season 1, I was like, oh, this is great. Can't get enough. Injected my veins, you know. Helena was reluctant to go back down because she was like, these people tried to kill me. I don't want to go back down there. But the board was basically saying, you got to have Mark finish the file.
Yeah.
We don't know what the file is yet. Cold Harbor.
Cold Harbor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Pearl Harbor.
Yeah. The three of them are talking to Milchick was pretty funny. Dylan proves himself again as just a funny...
Yeah.
Not purposely funny, but the way he says things, and his eulogy to Irving was great.
Oh, yeah.
But I did accidentally take a sip of it later because I forgot he said that.
Oh, he discovers a card. You remember when Irving was like, hang in there?
Yeah.
And he sees the poster of hang in there. He looks, and there's a little card back there that Irving left a message for Dylan. So we'll see where that goes. I didn't quite read all of it. I think there was some like directions or something.
I think it was directions to the door.
What else happened? Milchick got in trouble. We've all been there, right? Performance reviews are less than stellar, and your boss says, listen, you got to bump up those numbers. Those are rookie numbers. I thought it was really interesting. He had a conversation with Natalie about the paintings that he was given. We didn't talk about it in the previous episodes, but he's given Cure paintings, but instead of Cure, they're painted as a black man to look like him. I think that was the beginning of him really questioning his allegiance to Lumon. I couldn't tell if he was offended. He definitely wasn't on board like a Cobell would have been. And then he has a conversation with Natalie explaining, as a black person, how does this make you feel? And I watched an interview with that actor, Milchick, and he explains that, yeah, he's the only black person on the severed floor, and his kind of marginalization is somewhat present in there. And then another plot that I liked, Ricken. I think he'll play a significant role moving forward. What do you think?
I hadn't thought about him playing a significant role, but I could see it.
So he's writing the book for the severed employees, and his wife is kind of opposed to it because she knows that Lumon does bad things, but Ricken thinks this is a huge thing financially for us, which makes sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think she'll be able to convince him to maybe put some secret messages in that book for severed employees.
Yeah.
You know, create a revolt or something of sorts. What do you think?
Wasn't he kind of hinting that he'd do that too? It's like, I got to get the book in there.
Yeah.
And he's the one that's like, it'll make him, a revolution.
That'd be pretty cool, right, to see?
Do like a Lemony Snicket's and Series of Unfortunate Events. You ever seen that movie?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Where the ant leads the suicide note, but something about spelling and it makes a secret passageway. You got to do something like that here.
Ooh, yes. Irving and Burt had an encounter. Meet cute, I'd say. Where Christopher Walken's like, I got fired for having an erotic encounter.
Yeah.
And they surmise that it's probably each other. And so Bert's like, hey, why don't you come over for dinner and meet my husband? And
yeah, I could do a throuple here or something.
Yeah.
Do we know who Irving's talking to on the phone? He's calling, hey?
Ooh, we don't yet.
Because I was thinking maybe Irving was reintegrated.
Mm.
And maybe he's been working with her, and that's kind of how he's getting the flashes.
Okay.
Because he's investigated as well,
Yeah.
And obviously we know she did it with Petey. Who's to say she didn't do it with Irv over here? Because she seemed pretty confident it'd work with Mark, you know?
Yeah.
That's just a quick theory I came up with.
Maybe. We'll see. And then the last bit leaves you hanging. Mark and Ragavi are doing some reintegration therapy, I guess you could call it. And Mark starts seeing things, kind of like Petey was last season. He sees his wife on the severed floor.
Yes.
Right in front of him. And it cuts to black. There's been some discussion on how much Mark was present in the episode, Innie or Outie. What kind of feeling did you get about that?
It feels like he kind of jumps in for a split second.
Yes.
Because at first I'm like, is this Outie? But then he's like talking to Milchick about things that happened in there. So
yeah,
it doesn't really seem like he was there that long. It's just like kind of snipping a clip.
Yeah, a great performance out of Adam Scott. I didn't know at what point he was as Innie or Outie, and there's very subtle performances where you think it might be his Innie, but maybe it's not. So it's very good there. Again, it services the plot, moves things forward and leaves you hanging for the next one, so can't wait till next week. Thanks for watching these highlights of our episode of the Stale Popcorn Podcast. If you want to listen to the full episode, check out the links in the description. Please like, share, and subscribe, and if you do that with your favorite YouTuber, I'm sure they would appreciate it too. Thanks, and have a great day.